Why $1,000,000 yearly is not enough. Hey, have you been thinking, hey, $1,000,000? I mean, $1,000,000 is a lot of money. That's all I need. If I had $1,000,000 a year, I'd be set. Well, unfortunately, in this video, I'm going to show you why $1,000,000 a year is just not quite enough. Hey, I'm JR Fisher. Thank you for watching this video and visiting my channel. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Hit that big subscribe button down there, and when you do, there's going to be a bell that's going to pop up, bell notification. You got to ring the bell, turn on all bell notifications. If you do that, you will be notified. You will be part of the Fisher family, the VIP group who gets notified every single time I do one of these videos. And you'll also be told when I'm going live, and maybe we can chat back and forth. Do me a favor, put any questions below. If you're thinking $1,000,000 a year is plenty, put that below and tell me why. And if you don't think it's enough, put that below too. Okay, so I remember as a kid I thought, wow, $1,000,000. If you had $1,000,000, you'd just be set forever. You could have anything you wanted. You'd have cars and boats and planes and all these things and big houses. And the truth is, $1,000,000 was not what I thought it was. As you get older, you start to realize what $1,000,000 is, and even though it sounds like a lot of money, it really isn't. So there's a couple ways of looking at this. Do you have $1,000,000 a year in just net income coming in, or do you have $1,000,000 a year in sales in your business? Because those are two vastly different things. If you're thinking about retirement, that's another angle. Is $1,000,000 enough to retire? And I kind of want to cover all three of those things in this video and kind of let you know where you stand. Okay, so let's start with number one. If you have a business and your sales are $1,000,000 a year, are you set? Well, you may be and you may not be, depending on what your cost of sales are. Now, with any product, whether it's a digital product, whether it's a physical product, whether it's a service, you're going to have some cost to those sales. So we sell survival food, and our survival food, there's a cost to that canned meat that we put in a box, and there's a cost to the warehouse, and there's a cost to the boxes that it goes in, and there's a cost for the shipping. So when you figure all that in, you don't really have $1,000,000 if you're doing $1,000,000 in sales. And I will share with you how I got to $1,000,000 in sales at the end of this video, and I did that in 24 months. So let's take a look at this though. If you are generating $1,000,000 a year in sales, you have to look at employees, you've got to look at rent, you got to look at, like I said, your cost of your goods sold and how much you will have left over. And that's one way of looking at $1,000,000. Okay, the other way of looking at $1,000,000 is $1,000,000 a year in income coming in. Now, if you have $1,000,000 a year of income coming in, and that's just pure money coming in, yeah, I mean, you're going to be probably set as far as the US standards go. However, most people don't have that advantage. Most people are trying to save for retirement, and they're trying to figure out, how much money do I need for retirement? Now, here's the question. If you had $1,000,000 for retirement, you had $1,000,000 cash saved, is that enough to retire? Well, there's so many factors that go into this, and I want to kind of go over all those so you know what you need to do and you know where you need to be, and I can kind of show you how to get there too. Okay, so let's first break it down. $1,000,000. First off, what does it cost the average American to retire? They say on average, and you may be different, it's about $66,000 a year. So once we start figuring that in and looking at $1,000,000, we got to factor in how long that's going to last us. Now, to get to $66,000 a year, that's about $5,500 a month, and that's food, housing, entertainment, clothing, anything you need. You're going to need about $5,500 a month on average. Now, your expenses may be more or less. Maybe you only spend $40,000 a year, or maybe you're accustomed to spending $100,000 a year. Those would change, but we're going to use this $66,000 as an example, and then you can adjust it to fit your income. Now, if you're planning on retiring 10 years from now with economic adjustments and inflation, you're going to need actually $1.7 million in the bank to be able to live at that rate of $66,000 a year. So basically $1,000,000, well, it's a good start, but it's not going to get you there. So you may be thinking, gee, JR, I'm nowhere close to having $1,000,000 right now, and I'd like to retire in a few years. Well, there are things you can do. You can obviously cut back your expenses. I mean, I know of people who've actually moved to foreign countries. They've moved to the Philippines, they've moved to Mexico, where the cost of living is a whole lot less. And if you don't want to do that, then you got to adjust how much money you have to live on. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average person between the age of 55 and 64, 58% of them still have a mortgage. So you're still probably going to be servicing a mortgage at that time. Now the average mortgage payment for somebody at that age is $1,010, or roughly $12,000 a year. So that $12,000 comes out of that $66,000 that we figured. So other things are actually factored in here too, like where you live, how much you want to travel, what your entertainment expenses are. That's going to change how long you can live off that amount of money. So when you retire, of course you can travel. If you're going to travel to a campground and pitch a tent, well, that's going to be a whole lot cheaper than going to Paris or England or some foreign country that's going to cost you a lot of money. So you have to factor all that in. That's why I say this $1 million number is just a starting point. Now the average person over 55 spends $3,350 a year on entertainment. Yours may be different. Now keep in mind, if you do have an income, you're going to have to withdraw a little bit more money to pay the taxes. Taxes are still going to be there even when you retire. Now keep in mind, when you plan on retiring has a drastic effect on how much you need to save and how much you need to have. If you're planning on retiring very soon, we can use these numbers. If you're planning on retiring 25 years from now, that's a big difference, but the upside is you have a lot more time to save up. You also have to factor in, do you have any debt? You know, credit cards, car payments, all those things can really add up, especially during retirement when your income is probably not going to go up. Now here's the other question: do you want to retire? Okay, I work online and I really don't have an inclination to retire because I'm not quite sure what that means to me. Would that mean that I would get up every day and just watch TV? I can't picture myself doing that. Okay, I have to have something to do, and I can actually travel now. And you know, there's a course I want to tell you about. It's below in the description here. You can grab this course that will teach you how to sell stuff online, how to make money online. But because if you have a job like that, a position like what I'm in where I can earn money online, what's the point in retiring? All I do pretty much is talk and type and, you know, sell stuff online. So I can do that from anywhere in the world, which means I can travel anywhere in the world. Now I also told you I wanted to share with you a story about how I went from zero to $1 million a year in sales in only 24 months. My second year I did hit $1 million in sales. Now there were a lot of factors there, and some people will say, well, JR, you sell survival food, so you know that was really hot when you started out, and that's why you got that money, and that's just a luck thing, and it has nothing to do with anything else. And nothing could be further from the truth. Okay, the truth is I started selling things online. I learned to sell things online, and maybe I would have gone in the, you know, health and fitness area. Maybe I would have sold supplements, which is also very popular. Maybe I would have done something in love and relationships, which is also very popular. The point is I got started, and I think that is the #1 problem with most people is they go, well, gee, I've got to find the perfect thing, the perfect product to make all this money. And you know, you lucked out because you found survival food. Well, I got to tell you, survival food did really good when I started out, but depending on who's in the White House, it can go up and down. Okay, and we've had big swings in that. Right now we're in the midst of coronavirus. Yeah, survival food's doing great. We're doing really, really well. Prior to that, we weren't doing as well. We've always been able to make a living. We've always been able to sell it. But the other thing I want to share with you is don't put all your eggs in one basket. You know, if you had money to invest in the stock market, I don't think you would take all the money you had and put it on one stock. I know I don't do that. You would probably buy a whole bunch of different stocks, and that way some go up, some go down. On average, you're probably going to get an increase. However, when you're selling things online, you need to do the same thing. Yeah, we sell survival food, but I also have a course that shows you how to set up a drop shipping store. I also have a course that shows you how to set up a Shopify store. I also have a course that shows you how to work Facebook ads. I also have an emailing course. You know, I have a whole bunch of different courses because I don't want to have all my eggs in the same basket. I don't want to own just one stock in the stock market because some of those things can do well and some of them can do poorly. So it's really important to remember, #1, get started. Okay, get started with your savings plan. Get started with learning how to make money online. You can grab my course down there. It's absolutely free. All you have to do is click the link and learn. But make sure you are getting started, okay, with that savings plan, with that learning on how to make money online. And maybe you'll find that, you know, you want to make money online and you don't even want to retire because it's a pretty good life. You can shoot some videos, you can, you know, work on your computer, you can travel the world, and you can still make money and not have to retire. And I don't think, you know, near as I can figure, being retired and sitting around the house is probably not good for you. I'm figuring health-wise, if you just sit around all day and you just watch TV and you don't really get much exercise and you're not out walking, you're not exercising, you know, it's probably going to be really bad for you. So I would suggest, number one, you watch this video to see what $1 million a year would be like, and maybe thinking of retiring. And I'm here telling you I would not retire if I were you. I wouldn't think it was the thing to do because it's not healthy. It's a whole lot better to learn how to make money online, and this is the environment for it. If you think about it, guys, we're in the midst of a pandemic now, but what it's done is it's taught a lot of people that they can buy online, that they can order their food online, that they can get their clothes online, they can get their exercise equipment. You know, gee, if I think back over the past 5 months that we've been in this coronavirus, I think it's been about 5 months, maybe 4 months, 4.5. I bought a lot of stuff online, and I've actually changed some of my buying habits. I used DoorDash and Postmates and all those things, Grubhub, to get food to come to the house, of which I'd never used before. Now I'm not that fond of that because I'm thinking, you know, the guy at Grubhub may pick up 4 different houses meals and drive them around town, and you're not going to get hot food. So I'm not that fond of that. However, there are people who started using Instacart to get their groceries, or Grubhub or Postmates, and they love it now, and they would have never tried it before. So the market out there now for people buying online has never been better. If you're in a job right now and you don't like the job, you don't like what you're doing, I got to ask you why you're doing it. There are alternatives. Okay, you can do this. You don't have to be a genius. You could grab my course down there. You could get started today. So that's my suggestion to you. $1 million, not much money, not as much as I thought it was when I was a kid, but it is a start. Okay, and you can do it, and it doesn't matter what age you are. It doesn't matter if you're very young, very old. Okay, you can start making money because time's going to pass anyhow. You might as well do something with it. I really appreciate you watching this video. I thank you so much for that. Do me a favor, if you haven't subscribed yet, go down there to that subscribe button and turn on bell notifications. Make sure you ring the bell. Okay, if you ring the bell, you'll be part of the Fisher family, the VIP group that gets notified every single time I do one of these videos, especially when I go live. You can also participate in that, so make sure you do that. Now I want to hear your comments below. What do you think of $1 million? Is that enough? Do you think $1 million is enough? Have you started saving? Tell me what your saving plan is. Have you started online? What did you do online? How has that worked out for you? Has it worked out really well and you want to share some of your successes? Put that in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey, thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click that little bell right there so you can be notified every time I do a new video. Also, click on one of those videos there. Keep watching on my channel.